Stage number 2, video number 4. This video is going to be more on hand path and clubhead path. Basically, hand path is delivery. It's called delivery path, and clubhead path is called delivery line. So the first area is going to be loading, and it's basically the start of the downswing and creating power through this right index finger. This right index finger, guys, is called pressure point number 3. And there's two types of loading. There's going to be one called drive loading, which is an axe handle procedure. And there's going to be a second one called drag loading, which is a rope handle procedure. We will start with drive loading. Drive loading. Okay, guys, I'm going to take the golf club back, and my hand's going to roll, my wrist's going to cock. Once we're here, we can drive into that right index finger. Driving is basically the start of pushing against the right index finger against the weight of the golf club. It's going to look like an axe handle procedure, like chopping a tree. Drive, drive, drive loading. Okay, this drive loading, guys, puts that right forearm right pretty much behind the left arm, where it's pushing the left arm. And you remember, club face manipulation is going to be just rolling the hands if you drive load. Okay, so I'm trying to give you guys the specifics: drive loading, roll the hands for club face manipulation. The next loading action is called drag loading. So again, this right index finger. So what happens is, as we take it back and the hand rolls and the wrist cocks, this golf club sits right on that right index finger, and we basically pull that line down. That we pull it down, and it's called rope handle drag loading. It's like pulling a rope down. And you will see that my right elbow is going to get underneath, coming more from the inside. So you're going to pull it down, okay? And the golf club just ends up sitting on that right index finger. It's called elongating the shaft. It feels like you're going to make the shaft go longer. And you're going to just feel like you're leaving the club head, the shaft, right behind on the same line that the hands travels down. Drag load. And in that drag load procedure, guys, we will talk about the manipulation, right? So this swing is going to go into an arcish motion from inside out. And when it goes into that arcish position, it's actually rolling square to the ball. And so we don't want to over-roll that. So we're going to take that down the line with our shoulder, as in that club face manipulation in one of the videos. So now we'll talk about the follow-through. So what happens is we load it, and the hand travels down, and then it gets released, right? We release the wrist cock, and we have that wrist roll. And we get into this follow-through procedure where after the club face in this wrist roll lines up, we get into both arms straight. And in this after both arms go straight, the club goes back up and in. After after extension, the club goes back up and in. Whether it's an angled roll of the wrist or a horizontal roll of the wrist, the club will go up and in. Okay. Now, guys, while the club is going up and in, it's very important to understand that the drive, the thrust is still down. So you will see that right shoulder not come up with it. So as I get into that extension and both arms straight, and the club starts moving up and in, the thrust of my swing still drives down as the swing goes up and in. It doesn't come up with it, okay? So it drives down, up, and in. Follow through. That is the follow through. So now we need to understand hand path, delivery path, and club head path, delivery line. One way we try to describe this is something called the endless belt. Endless belt. An endless belt. It's a conveyor system with two pulleys. So there's going to be a pulley around my hip waist area, and there's going to be a pulley around my chest shoulder area here, and there's going to be the belt. And basically, guys, the belt's the hands. The belt's the hands, and in the bottom pulley is where the delivery line, the club head actually follows, whether it's a arcing motion or an angle to the ball, but it's under the bottom pulley that this arc happens. Okay, so on the side is the belt, and it's your hands the belt. So we're going to take it back on the stage 2, which is just the wrist action, where the hand and wrist hand rolls and wrist. So this is the side of the belt, and my hands is going to travel up and down, and you will notice that the shaft is going to follow the line of the belt. And as we release, it's going to point an angle towards the ball, and this angle is like an aiming point, but that's going a little bit too far. But from here, this is going to take the arc part. So from this side of the pulley, the club is going to move in an arc around that pulley until it gets to the other side. So that's the club head path, right? That's the club head path. Here is the hand path, and then as it gets to the bottom pulley, there's the club head path. So club head path, right through. We're gonna roll that wrist, and then manipulate that face, and we're gonna align it, and the follow through is gonna be up and in on that bottom pulley. Endless belt. So there's going to be more video on this hand path and the delivery line, club head path by itself, but right now that's the general view of it. We're going to practice this. It's not a full swing. From the back, it's going to look like this. So, go. There's random release. There's wrist roll, and we're going to pop it. Thank you for watching. Click on the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you again.